everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got another video full of great ideas to share with you using things that you probably already have. So if you want to know how to make them, stick around. I'll show you how. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Right, Maxwell? Okay, we're going to start with a paper bag that measures 7 by 3.5. I'll give you the link for these. I got these on Amazon, and it's going to take 8 per snowflake. This is a quick and easy project, and it doesn't cost a lot to make. And you're going to glue across the back and the bottom on all of these and attach them. So the flat part is on the back part. And just line them up good, and then just keep going until you have all 8 of them glued together. And all you need is just a little glue right down the center on both sections. And then once you get them all glued together, then we're going to cut our snowflake shape into them. So start in the center, mark your center point, and then I'm going to come down, cut from one side to my center point, and then I'm going to measure the other side to that center point as well, just to make sure that I'm going straight across. And I think this is about 3 inches down on the bag that I'm cutting. You just make sure that your peak is just even on both sides. And it's pretty easy to cut through. It's not that thick. Then we're going to cut a little triangle shape out of both sides. And just kind of make sure that they do look a little bit even. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just try to get a little bit even on both sides. Okay, then you're just going to put your hand in both sides of the bag, one on each side, and pull them together. And then add a little glue down the back and the bottom and just glue that together. Okay, that was pretty much easy. After we let that dry, then we're going to come back in and we're going to glue in our little tab areas right there where the bottom of the bag is. Just kind of glue those in so they're a little bit flattened out on the front. It just kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Okay, next I'm just going to take a little ribbon and glue it to the top part, and that's what I'm going to hang it with. Now you can hang a bunch of these. You can make a lot of these real quick, and you can hang them at different levels, but just glue it right onto the center point where they two meet together. And then you could put lights in these if you wanted to as well. I just didn't have any lights to put in it, but it definitely would be cute with some lights in it. And to bling it out a little bit, I'm just going to take some little crystals and I'm going to put it on every other one of these. And then that way, if you have it in your Christmas tree or something like that, it'll still catch the reflection and it will kind of twinkle a little bit. And I'll give you the link for the jewel setting tool that I'm using. It's super handy. And then I'm using SS20 on the size of my little crystals. Hey, see how pretty that is? You can make a lot of these pretty quick. For this one, I'm starting with an 8.5 by 11 piece of copy paper, and I'm just folding it over till it matches up the other side. We're going to end up with an 8.5 inch square after we're finished. So fold up your sides and then cut that off. You want to go ahead and take time to really get your little folds perfect. And then just cut that piece off. And then I'm going to kind of go a little bit slow on this one because I really want you to see what I'm doing. But you fold that one over right there and then take it and fold it over to the other side as well. Just to make a triangle to the other side. Then we're going to flip it over and we're going to fold it in half. And then we're going to turn it and we're going to fold it in half the other way. Okay, then take your little corners, your little diagonals, and pull them together. And we're going to make a square with this. And then really flatten out your seams. Okay, then you'll have a little diamond shape and you'll have your openings at the bottom. Then you're going to fold these over each side until it meets into the middle. And then do the same thing with the opposite side. And then you're going to flip it over and do exactly the same thing. Once you get the hang of this, these go really fast. Just meet right into the center where that seam is, and then flatten that out real good and do the same thing with the opposite side. Okay, then we're going to open up one side. Just open it up and then pull it forward. Open that up and fold it flat. You're just opening that part up. And then fold it over. And then you'll have the other side to do exactly the same thing. Just open it up, pull it up, and then just open it up and flatten it out. And then you're going to flip it over and do exactly the same thing. So open up your flap, pull it up forward, and then open it up and flatten it out. And then fold that side over and do the same thing with the opposite side. Pull it up, open it up, and flatten it out. Okay, then you're just going to cut straight across the bottom to make the triangle shape for the Christmas tree. If you turn it to the side, you should have 4 sections on both sides. Okay, next you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut 4 even slits all the way across this. Now you're going to stop before you get through the middle. You don't want to cut through it completely. And then turn it over and do exactly the same thing, matching those up. Just try to get about 4 even sections there. Turn your tree upside down with the bottom facing upward, and you're going to take each one of the little folds and fold it down at a diagonal. Now the first 2 will go flat against the bottom. The second one will just kind of go at an angle. You won't get all the way because you don't have enough paper there, but just kind of get them folded over, and then you're going to fold those back and do the opposite side. Just kind of move them out of the way, pull them forward, and then you're going to do the same thing with each one of these, and you're going to go around the tree doing the same thing for all of your little slits that you have. Just fold all those over, keep going until you have every single one of each of those 8 sides folded. And they don't have to be perfect because this looks good even if you don't get it exactly perfect. Just keep folding it over until you get to the next row and do the same thing. And just continue till you get them all done. And then when you get to the opposite side, you're going to do that to the opposite side. You're going to do it mirroring that side. Okay, and then once you get the pattern going, they go pretty fast. Now these look good clustered together. These would be pretty on a mantle in a cluster. They would look pretty on a place setting if you're having a dinner party at each place. These could be used so many different ways. They just end up being so pretty and they're so simple to make. To get your corners all folded up, go ahead and start straightening it out, just kind of evening out each one of the little sections. Okay, then to decorate them up, I'm just going to add a few little crystals, and I'm putting one on every other little branch, and I'm going to do the same thing on the next row, and I'm going to alternate between rows. This really did dress them up a lot. Okay, for this one, I'm just using 2 little tree cutouts, and I'm using some macrame cord, just some cotton cording. And I'm going to start at the very top. I'm going to cut my cording, and I'm going to glue it right across the top part of the triangle. Now, if you don't have these wooden cutouts, you could actually cut these out of cardboard or anything else. But just glue that across there, and then we're going to start wrapping it. And I'm going to go around the top part one time, and then I'm going to start going down the sides. And try to get as close together on your thread and kind of glue it a little bit as you go. You don't have to glue every single spot, but really wrap it and then push it up as you're going. and then start gluing it maybe every 3 or 4 loops. You don't want any gaps in this. The closer that you have it together, it really does look pretty when you do push it together good. And then when I get to the edges right here, I'm just going to try to get as close to the edge as I can, and I'm going to overhang just a little bit so it just kind of looks like snow is drooping off the sides. Just kind of make sure that you are getting each little peak area, and then go down to the next row. And I'm going to kind of go fast on this so you can see what I'm doing, but not just sit here and let you watch me wrap this around here. And you could use any kind of a cotton cording. You could actually get from Dollar Tree. They sell those clothesline cords. You could use that. You could actually use a thicker yarn if you wanted to. I just wanted something to be a little bit white or bright white because that's kind of the effect I was trying to get from these trees. But the more you go around and the more you push it up as you're going, you can get it pretty solid. And then if you're going for a more rustic look, you could actually use like a thick jute on these. That would be pretty as well. And I'm doing 2 of these. I'm just going to show you this one because I'm decorating the 2 up exactly the same way. And then when you get to the bottom, you want to make sure that you are not overhanging the edge on either side because you do want this to stand straight up. And you could cut trees out of foam core board too. That would work as well. And then I'm just cutting it off, and I'm just going to kind of melt that in there. Decorate these. I got these little wreaths from Michael's, and I'm taking the red ribbon off of it because I just thought it looked a little bit cheesy. Taking some black and white check ribbon, just coming right around here, getting enough to come through the bottom part of the wreath on both sides, and then I'm going to tie it in a knot in the center and tie it in a bow. And I'm going to come up under just that first ledge there. And then I'm just going to tie a knot, and then I'm going to tie a bow. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue my wreath down because I want to make sure that it stays in place. And then I'll trim off the excess ribbon. And I'm going to do the other one exactly the same way. And I'm just going to add a couple of little stars that I had. I just painted these silver, and I'm just putting these right on the top. Okay, this was a pretty quick and easy project, and I think that these look good when they're at least in pairs, if not in 3s. Let me know what you think. For this next one, I'm just using some white scrapbook paper, and this is not a real thick cardstock. It's just a regular scrapbook paper, and I'm going to cut these into 4-inch cubes, and you're going to need 6 of these. Next, I'm going to fold all 6 of these into a triangle shape. Just make sure that you do get it even. And then I'm going to use a little bone folder just to make sure that my folds are permanent. You know, you want to make sure that they are flattened out. Next, you're going to take your ruler and you're going to kind of measure every 1/2 inch, and you're going to cut these up until you get to the fold. So the top part on top of that triangle is the fold. So you're just going almost up to the top of it, but not quite. Don't cut through that fold. And you're going to cut 7 slits. Next, you want to take like a bone folder, or you can even use a dowel stick, and just start coming back here. And every other one, you're going to make it go outward, and then you're going to flip it over and do the same thing for the opposite ones. This just kind of breaks up the fibers and makes it a little bit easier to glue it together without it bending. You're just rubbing it real hard, and then don't rub it too hard because you don't want to tear it. But then take it and flip it over and do the opposite side, going the opposite way. And then we're going to start gluing it together. So we're going to glue the first 2 together right here. Then we're going to skip 1 and glue the next 2. We're going to alternate till we get to the top. And then we're going to flip it over and alternate all the way up the back. and then flip it over right here, and then we're going to do the back exactly the same way. And I'm kind of going slow on this because I want you to see it, but then I'm going to kind of speed it up because we are going to do 6 of this to make this snowflake. And you want to use a piece of paper that is not real thick. You don't want to use a thick cardstock because this won't work. So you want to use kind of like a scrapbook paper that is kind of thin. And you could even use a regular notebook paper if you wanted to. Like printer paper. And then just keep going until you have all 6 of yours made. That you have all 6 of them done, we're going to start gluing them together, and we're going to glue 3 together and then the other 3 together, and then we're going to join the 2 in the center. These would make nice door hangers, mirror hangers. They'd be cute on a table, run down the center, put some candles around it, maybe some little Christmas balls. They'd be super pretty on gifts and gift baskets. And then we're going to put them together, and then you can just shape them to kind of shape them out how you want them. Just glue a little bit in the center and push these 2 together. And then you can start bending them a little bit to kind of get them in shape how you want them. All right, these were pretty simple. This next one, I'm taking some 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, and I'm going to cut it into 4-inch squares. And you're going to need 5 squares for each one of these little stars. Okay, you're going to start by folding this into a triangle, and you don't have to have a double-sided paper because you're not going to see the other side. And then I'm using a bone folder to help smooth out my folds. Then come in the center with your triangle facing upward and fold these 2 sides into the center. And then fold the bottom up. And then we're going to fold these corners up to the center as well. Okay, these are going to be the only folds that you're going to make, and you're going to do 5 of these. So once you get it up to the center, just make sure that you get it even. And then we're going to put a little bit of glue right on each side to attach the 2 flaps that we just did. Just fold them over and let those dry. And then make 5 more exactly the same way. Them all made, we're going to take them and squeeze them open like that. So you're flattening them out on the side, and then take your bone folder just to kind of shape it out. So you're going to squeeze it open and then fold it flat. And you're going to do that with all of those. And if you don't get these perfectly square, don't worry about it. I did several of them and they didn't all come out perfect, but by the time I put the star together, they looked perfect. Okay, then you're going to stack them with the open side facing upward. Put a little dab of glue right there and put the other one right next to it. And so the top part, the side that you're gluing on, is the part that has the open area. And just keep attaching them till you have all 5 connected. Just take some time to really get them lined up good because you want to make sure that they are lined up. That dries, we're just going to fan it open and put a little bit of glue on the bottom edge right there and glue that together. And then we're going to glue down between each one of those 2 at the top, all the way down, and glue all 5 of them. And these are super sturdy once you get them put together. You could use these to hang up as a garland, on a wreath. You could put them on gift packages or at the top of a gift bag. You could use these for so many different things. To show you too, if you have leftover scrapbook paper, you can mix and match. These actually turned out pretty cute. They like a patchwork type of star. You could use, 5 different patterns or just mix and match. I think that they really do look good mixed and matched. And to dress them up a little bit, I'm just going to take a black and white check ribbon coming around the bottom part of the star. And I'm taking a little wreath that I got at Michael's, and I took the ribbons off of it, the bows off of it. So just glue a little bit onto the back of your star to get your ribbon lined up. Come through the top, tie a knot, tie a bow, and then glue your wreath right to your star. These really dressed it up a little bit. These go together super fast, so you might want to make a bunch of them. Okay, all of these were super easy to make. These are using supplies that you probably already have on hand, and you can make a lot of these pretty quick. You can use them in so many different projects during the holidays. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for being here, and if nobody's told you today, you're awesome. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching.